Hello, dear Whitehead here. Right, it's so disheartening what's happening in the UK at the moment. This is why we've decided to leave the UK. It's just, I can't believe in recent times that, people in the UK are now being taxed out of all existence. The Labour government it's absolutely destroying the country in everything. It's incompetent as well as wasteful. And they've increased the national debt by something like 200 billion or something. It's just not on. I just can't see a way forwards for the UK anymore. If it continues on the path it is now, there's so much destruction happening and so much control. It's not even financial. You've got things like digital IDs that are coming in, which quite a large proportion of the population disagree with and can't understand why we need, on the pretense that it's going to solve, immigration, which is not really much of an issue anyway. It's being used as an issue at the moment to cause, a split population, which is easier to control. So everybody's fed up. And I've told a lot of people what I'm doing. I'm taking my family out of the UK for good. We're selling everything, we're going. Not putting up with it. And when I speak to people, they say, "Oh, I know why you're doing it. Oh, that's a good idea." I've not had a negative response. But I reckon a few years ago, everyone would have said, oh no, I don't know why you would do that. That's a silly thing to do, isn't it? What about your life here? What about your pension? What about all this? But nowadays, I haven't had one person that said, "Why are you worried about all of this?" Because in a few years, pensions will probably be gone. In the UK, you can't live on a state pension. So the retirement age is going up to a point where I might not even see retirement age. It's pointless. The whole thing is now pointless. House prices are now far beyond what anybody can pay. And I don't want any of this for my kids. Why would you want your kids to grow up in a country like this now, where you can't afford to drive? That's the next thing. They're probably going to start bringing in pay per mile. So anyone that's ever driven and has to drive for a job won't be able to afford to get to work. And of course, wages aren't going to go up to meet it. You've got supermarkets with, creating huge profits, with CEOs earning millions. And people are going in there and seeing the prices and like, what is going on? The recent one is mince. The price of mince is gone up by a third. And I went in there, I looked at it, and I was like, how can mince cost this amount of money? This is insane. Prices cannot keep going up in the UK. People are struggling anyway. They're going to change finances. It's likely that they're going to drop the ISA allowance. I'm dreading the next budget because it's just going to make life incredibly hard for anybody that lives in the UK. This is why anyone that's got a business in the UK and anybody that's got money is leaving. Millionaires are all leaving because they're going to get taxed out of existence. International businesses are pulling out of the UK, and you can see why. It's not a nice place to live. And you go into any city centre nowadays, it doesn't matter where it is, any city centre, even the centre of a town, all we've got left are charity shops and hairdressers, Turkish barbers. So, Turkish barbers, why do we need 30 of them in one town? There isn't that many people that need a haircut. They're likely fronts for drug dealing and other things that prop them up. They're used as a way to launder money, effectively. But they're allowed. That's fine. That's fine. You're allowed to do that because this is the country we live in. So, why would I want my kids to grow up in a country like this? There's no town centres. Town centres aren't safe anymore. I wouldn't let my kids walk down in a town centre after dark. They're just not safe. And there's lots of people saying, well, if you go abroad, you go to these countries, it's really unsafe. Have you looked outside your front door recently? Have you been to a town centre? I live really rurally. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere, but close to a town centre. Out here, we're fine. We don't have any issues. And our main town is fine. You can walk around it. Yeah, it's okay. Is it dying? Yes. Like all of the others, it's slowly dying. Financially. And I feel for people that live in other more urban areas. Because it isn't safe. At all. The immigration problem is a bit of a problem. It's bringing in people that don't have the same values as a brought-up UK citizen. Their values are different. They don't know that they're not allowed to go out and attack women, apparently. Apparently, that's not what they're taught. Women are a second-class citizen in a lot of the countries that these people are coming from. So they're brought up like that. So in a sense, I can't completely blame them for it. It's what they've been taught. But they can't come into this country with our laws and be allowed to do that. And that's why everyone's so pissed off. Because they're not abiding by any rules and regulations. And yet, if myself or one of you, if you're someone that's born and bred in the UK, does a minute thing wrong, they're on your doorstep telling you that you've done something wrong. It's not on. The country is actually collapsing. And I'm not letting my kids live in this country while it collapses. We're going to leave. In 2025, we'll be gone. So, anyone that's disheartened with the UK, consider leaving. I gave up my job in May, and we're still trying to sell the bloody house. This is what it's come to. It's so hard to get anything done in the UK now. Houses, NHS is collapsing. It's taken us between 2 and 3 years to get an operation on my daughter's teeth. That's ridiculous. And if you think, it's okay because the NHS is free, it's not free. You pay national insurance, which pays for the NHS. You pay a lot of tax that pays for the NHS. You're paying for a service in the NHS that doesn't work. You can't get a doctor's appointment. It's impossible. There's people on NHS waiting lists that are waiting and they're going to die because they don't get seen. That's the quality of care in the UK. The quality of care abroad, you pay a small amount of money and you can see a doctor and you see it instantly. And that means that the problem you've got is sorted out before it gets worse and worse and worse. Not happening in the UK anymore. If you're on a waiting list, there's a 50-50 chance you're ever going to get to the top of it. You're not going to make it. So if you're disheartened with the UK, the only advice I can offer is just leave. And there's a lot of people that are doing this now because I'm not putting up with it anymore. And I was somebody that was straight-laced, worked in a physical demanding job in the woods, in hydraulics, lots of jobs I've done, and I worked my arse off. And what's it given me? Not a lot. The country is not giving back what you're putting in anymore. It's not fair. It just isn't a place that I want to live anymore. So we're going. My kids are going to be much happier running around on the beach than they're going to be running around in the rain here anyway. So there we go. That's my plan. If you agree with this, leave me a comment. If you don't, also leave me a comment. I'm always up for a healthy discussion. So if you like what you see, subscribe and follow our journey for when we leave the UK. Will it be better? Is the grass greener? I don't know. But anything is better than sitting here and watching the UK slowly collapse.